Oh, hello. Oh, hello. We're slightly late. I had a lot of technical difficulties. So, hello everyone. Bearded, thank you for the host right off the bat. Hi Bad Frog.
Howdy.
Even though we've been talking for about 45 minutes because of my issues. But yeah. I know, Bad Frog's drowning. That's literally the first thing I said. I was like, oh my god, he's drowning.
I'm encased in a bubble of air. You just can't see it.
Help the frog. Help him.
I'm a frog, dude.
Hello, British. Hello, Miss JG. Hello, Ayo. Look at Ayo's new profile picture. Look at that.
Ooh.
Look at that. New profile picture. I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Oh, God.
All right. I was just in a glass case of emotion. My camera wasn't working. I couldn't figure it out. It was a stupid, I don't know, like, I've been using custom settings for my camera for the last 2 years, and tonight it said that I could only use default settings, and I was like, this isn't right. I've been doing this this way for 2 years. Why is it happening now? I have no idea why I had to change a very specific setting. No idea. I don't know if it was a driver update that made it not work, but who knows. So
Hey, Judge.
yeah, so that's why we're about 30 minutes late. But we're here. That's all that matters. Let's
Come on,
jump
Mr.
into it.
JG. Give it to us. You're going to be annoying? Go for it.
You're going to be annoying for a second because... Oh.
Ah. That's worth being annoying for.
11 months.
11. GG, Miss JG. My. Yeah, that deserves some resub hype.
11 months. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, Scotty's down. I haven't turned on Scotty yet. I knew I was forgetting a bot. I also got to turn this on too.
Firebot.
All this stuff. All the stuff. Turning on all the stuff. Alright. Now Scotty's on. Now Firebot's on. Alright, we're here. We're ready. Let's play some... not games.
Let's play some Uno.
I'm so used to saying let's play some games. Let's talk about some stuff. Hi, CG. Game for not games. I win. Miss JG, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Alright, yeah, let's jump into it. Mixcast episode 31. We've got 4 topics for you guys today. 2 of them should be a little bit shorter. We'll see. We've got Shadow Cloud Gaming. If you don't know what that is, you're gonna find out. Overwatch contender issues. Favorite food to cook or eat. Up to you, because some people like cooking the food more than it being their favorite food to actually eat. And Nintendo game sale. We've got some Nintendo games for cheap that you guys should have your eye on. I actually want to jump into the Nintendo game sale like real quick because there's only it's pretty straightforward. You know, these games are on sale. Go look at them. So I'm gonna go through the list actually really quick, and I'm gonna display it on the screen too. Pretty sure these are all. Are these all Nintendo games?
This is all Nintendo. The big one I saw was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is on sale for $42.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of games. I'm trying to find the actual. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. All right. Here's the sale. I'm gonna put it up on the screen, and we're gonna read through them real quick because there's a lot of good stuff. I love my Shadow. We haven't talked about Shadow Cloud Gaming yet. All right, here we go. We're actually starting off with the last topic first because it's very quick to the point, exactly what it is. Twister Chaser, thank you for the host. The big one, like right off the bat, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is $42 instead of $60. So most like AAA games, first party titles always start at like $60. That's generally what they go for. Military, thank you for the host. And there's a lot of games.
Nintendo, which rarely prices.
You don't see a lot of Nintendo games going on sale right off the bat. So we're gonna go through the Switch ones real quick. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is $42 from $60. Civilization 6 is $45 from $60. Splatoon 2 $42 from $60. Let's see. Octopath Traveler, I don't know much about that one myself, but it's $42 from $60. Arms, it kind of just looks like a silly boxing game. $42 from $60. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. That's actually a really good one. That's a really good one. $42 from $60. Lego Harry Potter is $25 instead of $50. 50% off of the Lego Harry Potter collection. The whole thing. The collection of them. 50% off. Carnival Games is $26 off of $40. Yeah. There you go. So not a ton of Switch games, but there's a decent amount of them, and they're actually pretty decently priced. So
there's a link in Mixcast to GameSpot that has a list of that stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
But I just put that in Mixcast, so if you want to see the list and see where they might, it's mostly Target I saw. So
yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's so these are all Nintendo games that are all on sale here. However, the ones that I listed off are all Switch specifically. So if you have your Switch, I mean, in all honesty, that Lego Harry Potter is super tempting, and the Hyrule Warriors is pretty good. I would be happy with either of those. Like if you were looking at getting either of those games, that's a decent discount on both of them. So, you have Lego Harry Potter on Xbox. A lot of people do, but that would be a good Switch game because it's a good pick up, put down. So,
speaking of Lego, real quick, because I saw it today, but it wasn't worth bringing up. The two Lego games that are related to the Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, if you can find them and you want them, you better get them because the licensing ran out and they're already off the Microsoft store, I believe, and there's not going to be any more. So if you can find one and you want one, you better get it.
Wait, what is that for? The Hobbit series?
The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings Lego.
For
the licensing ran out for anything.
And they're not allowed to sell the games anymore?
I guess not, because the what I saw is the licensing ran out and they were pulling them off the for sale games. Yep. So you might be able to find one at GameStop or something like that. But if you can, you better get it if you want it.
Interesting. Yeah. So neat little topic to just jump into. Nintendo doesn't usually put their games on sale that often, so seeing it on sale is always a good thing. Hello, Valley Girl. Hello, Twister Chaser. And hello, Mind B-Ball. Hello. J Fox, thank you for the host. Wonder Boy, thank you for your host. Wonder if that's across the Lego franchise?
Nope. It's just those two specifically because they had to get so many licenses from so many different people. It seems like one of them ran out. So
it just seems like it's those two. The Lord of the Rings license they lost.
Yep.
So I clicked a link and I didn't mean to click it. Okay. Close. All right, yeah. So Nintendo games, go grab them. Next, let's go back to the top. Shadow Cloud Gaming. Does anyone here actually know what Shadow Cloud is? Shadow Cloud Gaming, because we talked about it here on Mixcast once before.
It was like 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, we didn't jump into it too far, but it's actually really, really neat. It's really neat.
This literally could be the end of gaming at some point on a console or a PC or anything. I mean, it's going to take some tech across the country, but the places they've got it, it's insanely cool.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about it. Not just gaming. Yeah, I mean, he's got a point. We'll actually jump into that, like why it's so beneficial and why it's not even particularly just gaming. All right. So Shadow Cloud Gaming, basically, what Shadow Cloud Gaming, or what Shadow Cloud in general is you're accessing equipment that you don't have from an application. So pretend I have my computer here, right? You guys know that my computer is pretty well built. It runs very high specs. That's why I'm able to put out high quality streams. Imagine if you could use my computer from your house seamlessly. So you were able to run the high power that my computer has at your house. That's essentially the very basic way of putting what Shadow Cloud is. Yep. It's essentially a portal to using strong equipment. So they host all these strong equipment on like really powerful servers that are hosted throughout the United States. I don't know if they've moved to other countries yet.
They are actually in other countries more than here.
Are they? Okay.
There's a center on the East Coast and a center on the West Coast. I could technically, where I'm living, get this service, but
actually, if you look at their map, they're starting like
they are starting another one.
Yep. Well, they're like they cover like a good majority of the United States. They're doing pretty well. Like they've got like Texas and all of the states around Texas, so they've got to have a server somewhere like North Texas or near like Tennessee or something. So,
but you got to have gigabit internet, so that's going to leave a lot of people out.
So yeah, what it requires is you need decent internet speed. Yeah. So let me read. I'm gonna read you exactly what the website says. Play any PC game on Shadow. No need to buy new titles. Just download your current game library, Steam, Origin, Battle.net, etc., and start playing at max settings. So you're logging into your accounts on these remote computers and playing them at the highest possible settings, and your screen is just displaying it. That's all it is. So your display is capturing what is broadcasted from another point in the United States. Multiple screens, one experience. With Shadow, you can play on the device that you want and even switch screens while still in the game. Transform your laptop or Mac into a gaming PC. Run the latest games on your smartphone or use your Android as a smart TV and as a supercharged console. Download the Shadow apps and experience some of the same performance that you could choose. So you can literally play. So if you're playing Rocket League on PC, the Shadow app is on your phone. So you can still play Rocket League on a PC on your phone. It's kind of like an Inception deal.
There's a really good video that one of those clips I left in there will show that. It's nuts.
It's really neat. And I will be showing how it works. And basically all you're doing is you're paying a monthly service. That's all it is. Your system is yours and is not accessed by anyone. Really? So, well, okay, I guess I could see that. I haven't looked that far into it to see if the systems are dedicated directly to you. But
are you talking about their network systems?
The PCs that you're using in order to play the games.
Well, you'll see. There's the first section in. No, it's not a remote. But it's not dedicated either. It's
You said you sent me a video of it?
Yep.
Is it in Discord?
Yeah, it's in Discord. It's that one that with the funny guy looks like he's eating something.
Oh yeah, my
yeah, the funny guy eating
when
something.
I had to restart my computer, I lost that one. So, all right. Yeah, here we go.
And then I've got timestamps where the relevant information is at.
You'll have to tell me the timestamps because they're in the Discord.
237.
237.
Combined image
hope you
will
got
be
audio.
displayed on your TV. But a shadow is fundamentally different from what
This
anyone else
is
is doing
their
right now.
hub.
So rather than using an existing cloud platform like AWS, they're actually building out their own co-located data centers like the one we're standing next to right now. So everything inside this cage actually belongs to them. And when you subscribe to their service, you're not getting like a chunk
410
of
is
a
where this
GPU
ends, by the way.
or a Netflix-like interface with a limited selection of games you can stream. Inside of every single one of these custom-built boxes is 16 CPU cores, 48 gigs of system memory, and 4 performance-grade GPUs, typically GTX 1080s or Quadro P5000s, which are about equivalent in gaming performance. Shadow is then using their own tuned version of Red Hat's KVM hypervisor running on Linux to allocate the CPUs and the RAM using virtualization. And then when it comes to graphics, each Shadow actually gets its own dedicated GPU passed through to it. This is actually really similar tech to what we used in our 7 Gamers 1 CPU project a couple of years ago. And for gamers who subscribe, what it means is near bare metal performance with support for 1080p 144 Hz or even 4K 60 Hz gaming.
That's pretty neat.
I put that in there just so you could see the absolute monstrosity they put together.
Yeah.
Plus, how the can you imagine the amount of money they're talking about? 1080 Ti's throughout the whole thing, or it's equivalent with something else. I can't imagine the amount of millions of dollars in equipment that's sitting there.
Yeah, it's
what
was that?
I was going to say, but that's why I was saying it's dedicated, but it's not dedicated.
Yeah, that's that's the part that I actually didn't know on how they were actually managing to run the system. I understood how it worked, but I didn't know how they were dedicating each computer to itself. So, no, it's a really, really neat process. How many people can it support at once, or do they not have estimates for that?
I don't know the answer to that. I didn't see anything.
Like an entire center? How many people can an entire center support at once? It's got to be thousands. And when they start hitting that cap, all they do is they add more of those racks. That's all they have to do. But yeah. What is 250 gigs? That's how much storage space you have on those computers, Payne? Okay, gotcha.
Hey, Twisted, do me a favor and just drop that link in the Mixcast Discord if you would. That way it'll make more sense to people that want to know. He gave me a good link to that Lord of the Rings thing.
I'm interested to see, so each of these gets dedicated to one of their subscribers. Now, if a subscriber doesn't pay their one, let's say they cancel for a month and come back, if they have to start over and relinking all of their information, because if you only have 250 gigs of storage and you have a system dedicated to you, you're going to start running into a problem where if you have someone who drops off, they're going to need to fill that spot. The system remains for some time. My fear is that, my fear on the business side, not as the consumer, but on the business side is, you have 1 month, you have 10,000 subscribers who are all paying, right? And then let's say you drop down to 7. Now you have 3,000 computers. Do you have to wait to be able to resell those or what, I'm wondering how they managed to do that. So that's my question and how something along that line works. But it is a really cool thing. Is it worth it in the end? That depends on one, how much you're paying. Do you currently pay for the service, Payne? They give you a grace period, your system remains intact. How much are you paying and what are you getting? I'm just curious.
The price that they're talking about in this video is $35 a month.
Yeah.
And that's basically, you get the equipment and they upgrade it for you for nothing throughout whatever time you're on there.
$24.50. Okay. They have a
And
referral program.
that piece of equipment that you're getting is a low power little Linux box. It's almost like a Strawberry Pi, except a lot more powerful. But it has no fan. It's crazy how much they can do that with.
It's pretty neat because if you look at it in this sense, like think about it in this way, right? So
yeah,
you
Raspberry Pi. Sorry, I was thinking about something else.
You have 250 gigs of storage on your computer, which is not a lot at all. You would not use this you would literally just use this as gaming, and that's it. Because if you start going into streaming and stuff like that, that 256 is gone in no time. If you're making YouTube videos or anything like that. Now, if you're smart and you're transferring that data off of these shadow computers, so if you're running like, let's say you need high-end rendering for a movie that you're making for YouTube or something, and you need a high-end computer, which these computers would be able to do decent. If you're rendering out the 250 gigs is going to run out very quickly because rendering videos costs you a lot of memory. So if you are doing this sort of thing, if you're smart and you're moving those files off of the shadow computer, you could do this for a $35 budget. Would be really well done.
You don't have to game off of it. You can do what was the example he used? That drawing program that you use. That's
Photoshop.
Completely eluded me. Photoshop. You can run Photoshop on there. It's not running locally.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But the big question I had is answered in this next piece of video, which is the latency, which I thought would be a big issue. They've got some way. I didn't quite understand it even with the video playing, that how they get, when you move your mouse, you've got to be able to instantly move on the screen, or you got so much latency. There's no way you can play. So that was the part I didn't quite understand exactly how they got rid of that latency. But
I mean, they're using 100 megs up. So your issue is how fast is your internet, because you're going fast, right? Or they're going fast. Sorry, they're going fast. It's how fast can you go? That's what's going to determine it. On top of that, what is your ping? Because I guarantee you their ping is nothing. They've probably built these, they've probably planned this out perfect to where their servers are literally right next to internet-based servers. So their ping is probably literally 1 millisecond or lower. So, but the issue is, how fast is yours? They say that you can do it. It says, do I need a fast connection? We recommend 15 megabits, so a DSL, a coax, or a fiber connection works perfectly fine. Shadow automatically adapts to the available bandwidth. You can use the Shadow apps on Windows, Mac, Android via Wi-Fi or 4G. It's a good point in like how bad is the latency if you're using a slower internet, but it's interesting.
But if you go to 830, it's a really good video of how you fast and how easy it is to switch device. It's crazy.
Here,
And
I'll show that in a second.
It runs across all platforms. And the best part I like about this is the last part of this. It shows a MacBook that I think is really cool what he does.
Realized by now, it's actually totally optional. So let's say, for example, I'm tired of looking at a small screen and I want to play this same game on my TV. I grab my controller, press this button, and bippity boppity, there it is. Now I'm on their Android client. This is an Android powered TV, and I am actually decoding the signal using the processor built right into my TV. I'm using this controller.
What is this equipment?
Like
is
that.
this equipment
Crazy,
that
right?
you have to purchase from,
Okay,
or that
now
you
I've
rent
been
from them?
Gaming for
It's
a
part of
while
the
or whatever.
price.
I'm hungry. I want to run over to the kitchen. I don't want to put.
Wait, so you pay $35 and they're gonna ship you the stuff as well?
Yeah, it's just that little box that it looks like he's eating.
Oh, the box is not available yet. Okay.
Down my
Gotcha.
game.
The new one.
Easy solution. Ha, thank
All
you.
all these
Got
pieces
an Android
here.
tablet here. Got my controller paired to it. Now I'm playing on this. That's how quickly it switches. Now let's say, okay, I don't know,
Yeah,
my
you can
battery
put the
ran out or
software right
something.
on your computer
Now I'm
too,
gonna
but
switch
there's
to my
also
phone.
a box.
Here we
that's
are.
Coming.
This is the iOS app. Now running that same game that we left off on from before. Completely seamless switching. Then, I don't know, I dropped my iPhone. Who knows what? I got to keep coming up with more and more contrived reasons for me to keep switching devices here. And as a last resort, I go, okay, I guess I'll game on the MacBook here. Go ahead and plug in my mouse. And, look, they already pressed the button for me. Thank you for that. And there we are. Now we're running on the Mac. And actually, the implementation here is particularly interesting to me because not only have they actually found a purpose for the touch bar, so you can change some of your options, you can adjust your bitrate, some kind of cool stuff like that, but I'm gonna go ahead and quit the desktop here because this is crazy. With a simple 3-finger swipe, I can go from a full-fat Mac OS experience, high performance, natively running obviously, to a full-fat Windows 10 experience. Now this one isn't running natively, but imagine the things that you could do with this kind of functionality. I mean, this is not
That was
just
the cool
for
part I
gaming
like right
anymore.
there.
You could install and run anything. Like if you were, let's say you were...
It brings up a good point because there are a lot of programs that run between Mac and PC that can't coincide with each other. So like, there's Mac programs. I can't think of any off the top of my head because I haven't used a Mac in several years. But there's programs that are native to each program that cannot be run on either. Bootleg? Bootleg what? What's bootleg? What's up, Candy? For stuff that's already online, that's the one you used? I don't know what bootleg is. I have no idea what that is. Bootleg is usually a term for a hijacked program that can't be used on another program. Or that can't be used on another hardware. For stuff that's already online, it's an app/address, but they have /had a box at one point. So they don't do the box anymore? Or
No, that's what I can't, because everything tells me they have this new box. But Payne keeps saying they don't, but everything online tells me they do. So I guess I don't care that much anymore, but anyway.
editing a video in a...
Oh, had to pause it. I mean, when you go into Shadow and you press subscribe, there's literally nothing that says opt in for a box. Where are you seeing that you can get a box? Yeah, because the sign up says you get an Intel Xeon 8 dedicated threads, 12 gigabyte DDR4, 256 gigs of secured storage, NVIDIA GTX 1080 equivalent, and yeah, that's about it. And it's $35 a month prior to taxes. Let's see. Twister said, well, in hindsight, that is what my friend called it when he split my Mac hard drive in half to allow it to run Windows emulator type of thing. I don't know what he did. Oh. Well, that's not a piece of software. I was saying a piece of software that's dedicated to Mac. You're talking about partitioning your drive.
Yeah.
That's something completely different. Partitioning your drive just means that you can use a portion of your drive as Mac or PC. But I'm talking about programs that only work on Mac versus programs that only work on, like Pages. Exactly, Pages is a Mac only software. But you have Microsoft Word, which works on both, but technically it's really meant for PC. So, hey, sister wife. No, you're all good, Twister. Yeah,
Yeah, what they've got now
exclusive.
is I've got it on my Mac, but it runs an emulator without having to do that crazy stuff with your drive. And Mac's got a way you could partition the drive, but it
Yep.
broke mine. So I'll never use it again.
It's definitely dangerous to partition your drive, especially if you're partitioning and like if you're partitioning and then merging and partitioning and merging, you're literally just going to be losing part of your drive every time you do that. It's very dangerous to do it. My MacBook has it. It's perfectly fine. But I only partitioned about like 100 gigs of it because I only wanted to have a PC on my Mac for very specific things. So,
yeah, I have a hybrid drive in my Mac Mini that's on my TV.
Yeah.
And it broke the hybrid drive twice.
Yeah.
Luckily, I figured out how to put a hybrid drive back together, which made it so I could put a hybrid drive in my old MacBook. So it was nice, but it breaks it.
But yeah, this Shadow is really neat. The primary function right now is probably gaming for people who can't afford high-end computers. At what point is it worth you buying your own computer? 3 years? If you plan on using Shadow for 3 years, that's what.
Yeah, but at that point, you're starting to get to the end of the lifespan of your computer, as far as gaming's concerned.
Yes and no.
Because what? You'd have to spend $1,800, $2,000 to put together a computer now that would probably last long enough.
Yeah.
To beat out that, because you're talking about at this point you'd have to put a 1080 Ti in there at a minimum. And
yeah.
So I mean it would.
Yeah, the way that I was looking at it is, if you're using Shadow for 3 years, after 3 years you've spent probably close to $1,500 after taxes. For $1,500, you could have bought yourself a pretty decent computer. It's not. It's probably equivalent to what they're using, to be honest. So if you can't afford $1,500 straight off the bat, but over the course of 3 years you don't mind spending $35 a month, probably not a bad or about $40 a month, but after taxes, I'd say it's a pretty good deal and it's highly worth it. It just depends on what you want to do. Especially you got to remember, like, if you have, if your internet is ever going down or anything, that means you can't use your computer. So if you ever have internet issues, you can't use the computer offline. It's just not possible because you have to be connected. So yeah, I'm wondering, like, the next part of it is they play a dangerous game with you being able to use their storage as well as their components, because they've got to have some sort of safety protocols for what people are downloading onto these computers. I wonder how stuff like that works.
I'm sure it checks it as it goes in there.
It went down for some time this morning. That is a concern. Yeah, that would be one of the bigger concerns. The secondary concern is... oh yeah, there absolutely is TOS. TOS saying, you download viruses, you're probably getting yourself banned from the service.
And I'm sure each one of them is in a sandbox of its own, really. So it can't spread.
Well, so that's what I was thinking, is that they're probably sectioned off from each other, and that once something is on the drive itself, it can't actually leave the drive unless it's going outside of the server area, So if it's going back to your home computer or anything like that, basically things can go in, but it can't travel within the building. It can only leave the building.
Yeah, I suspect that's the way it is. It'd have to be, otherwise it'd just take one idiot hacker to jump in there and take the whole thing down.
Yeah.
So.
Payne says, I would love to visit their server room. So, funny enough, watching that video, the server room at the military was very similar to that. like crazy similar to that. It looked almost exactly the same. Because we had we had 2 server rooms and our server rooms were probably a good 300 by like 100 feet. They were big. They were big server rooms, about a good 3,000 square feet area. So we were hosting a lot. But it was actually pretty neat to see that, because I haven't seen. I mean, you don't ever see stuff like that unless like you're looking at crazy documentaries of like Google servers or something, you know. So because that's expensive. That building's got to cost crazy amounts of money. Like you're talking probably 10 somewhere between 10 and 50 million dollars worth of equipment. So it's just depending on how much they're hosting in each building. So
the funny part about that is back a few years ago, I won't say how many, colleges used to have it's called a VAX. Basically, it was a computer, and they had massive rooms for these things that looked like that. But you could overload the whole machine if you had like 75 or more people logged in at the same time.
oh really?
Yeah, and you see those old films where they got the tape drive spinning all the time. That's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah.
Just rows and rows and rows of those things.
Neat. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Bitcoin mining is fixing to take a drop. I read something about that today, but I'm not going to go there yet.
Oh, no worries, Valley Girl. Yeah, I mean, the only thing is, like, would Bitcoin mining even take... I don't even think you'd use it. Like, those computers are great, but they're not Bitcoin computers. I've seen crazy server rooms through the NSA. Oh, you mean just, like, server rooms for Bitcoin miners? Those are crazy computers. Seen some crazy server rooms for NSA. Technically,
and that's the reason why computers cost so much to build now is because of Bitcoin miners.
I technically worked for the NSA. My building was under US SOCOM, and most of my office was Rangers and SEALs that had moved on to the NSA. Yeah, I was working in a building that was dedicated towards the United States like security, internet security defense. So it was pretty neat. He's an undercover agent. He's after us. No. Yeah, it was neat. It was neat. I actually have. I think it's in my backpack. Oh wait. Here we go. I don't know if you'll even be able to read it. Oh yeah, maybe. Special reconnaissance, surveillance, and exploitation. That is the coin for our office was for the NSA, and we worked a lot with satellites and internet security. So it's pretty neat. It was fun. All right, yeah. So Shadow Cloud, neat topic, super in depth. It goes like you could talk like for hours about like the different possibilities that you could use with technology for that. So,
but if you want to see all of that video, Halo Collect put it in there. That's where I got it from.
yep.
In the Discord, watch the whole thing. It explains a lot of the technology and stuff they do that's not really suitable for this, but it's a really, really good video.
It is really good. All right. The Overwatch Contenders issue. Let's jump into that. Did you want to jump into this? Because you probably got a little bit more
yeah, this is basically
this is something you wanted to touch up on a little bit too.
Yeah. Basically 2 weeks ago, what team was it? Second Wind picked up a female player to play on their Overwatch competitive team. And she would have been the first one, but she got so harassed by people threatening to dox her, just endless amounts of crap that she just stepped down. Um, rather than deal with it. Like one of the comments in another Reddit was, "Is this a girl or a Korean guy with a girl name?" There's whole threads in Reddit dedicated to not wanting her on there. Which all this ties into something, a project I'm working on right now, which I is kind of making me rethink how I'm doing it, because it doesn't look like attitudes are changing at all. Um, this guy's got a really good tweet, the owner of the team. He said, "When we brought her onto the team, people acted like we had brought on a symbol of empowerment. I get that people meant well, but on one side, we had people questioning her legitimacy, issuing threats, while on the other hand, we had people acting like they had found their messiah. Between needing a player to live up to huge expectations and have to question their own safety, it seems that the Overwatch community isn't ready to just view a player as a player. We wanted a player, but it seemed like the public wanted something else." And that's exactly what happens with some of these women as they enter areas that they haven't been before. You got a group that doesn't want them there, and you got the group that thinks they're the next coming, and they got to show up. They've got to be the symbol for everything. So they're putting all their hopes and dreams into one person that's just there to play a game. But that was the biggest meat of that story. And I'm doing a thing on female streamers right now that I'm questioning streamers about. And this kind of tied into it. I won't be done with my project for a while, but this was new news that I wanted to get out there now. So that was the gist of it.
Yeah, I mean, so the competitive gaming world is dedicated by males. There's very few actually females that play in competitive gaming. Generally, if you see competitive females in like in this either in MLG or any of these esports leagues, they're usually just female teams, so it's all females. You never see females just joining a group of guys playing. And this is all based off of the stigma, like girls playing video game type of thing. And unfortunately, it runs into a really bad place where it doesn't allow females to be able to do competitive gaming, which, if you look at it, what is the difference between me holding this computer and a girl this controller, except for the fact that I just called it a computer? What's the difference between me holding this controller and a girl holding this controller? There's no difference. I can move my thumb just like she can move her thumb. There's no difference. In the end, all competitive gaming comes down to is, how much do you practice? Is your hand-eye coordination good? And that's about it.
I would like to excuse this kind of behavior and say, look, that's just the older generation. But it's not my generation playing these games. It's a couple of generations before mine that are playing these games. And they're the ones that have these attitudes. And that bothers me, because if we're still having those kind of attitude problems with 20-something-year-olds, we've got a long way to go. Because it's not fair to people like Cassie, who I'm sure could have put her mind to it and been real serious, might have been a competitive Halo player. She's pretty good at it just for playing casually. But she'd be left out because she's female. It's crazy.
No, it really is. I hear tapping in my headset and I can't figure out what it is. None of my windows show that there's any sound coming through. It literally sounds like a heartbeat. This is weird. It's like literally sounds exactly like a heartbeat.
It's in your ears, like.
What is making this noise?
It might be your blood running through your ears.
No, it's not.
Do what MD said.
It's literally, I don't know. I'm hearing it from inside the headset.
Well, maybe the little squirrel in your computer's getting tired.
It literally sounds like a heartbeat.
British Chairs ask, is this why female sports get no airtime on TV talk too? Honestly,
Probably.
there's that's part of it, but the real answer is that even females don't watch women's sports that much. And that's when you want it. The difference between sports, physical sports, and gaming sports is that you're going to see the top. Yeah, I'm going to get in trouble for this. You're going to see the top players are going to be almost exclusively. It's just the nature of the way we're designed. It's just the way it is. Where when you're talking about gaming or anything that doesn't involve physical activity, women are going to be just as good, if not better, than men at it. I couldn't find it the other day when I was looking at it, but there's a few studies out there that actually show women are better at games than guys as a rule because they have faster reflexes. So that's and you're free to disagree. It's more my opinion than anything else, but it really it boils down to people want to see the best of the best when they're watching something religiously like sports. You don't want to see the lower tier in basketball. You don't want to see our minor league baseball. You don't want to see the AAA team live on TV, and you're not going to hear national news about the AAA team. It's the major league teams in baseball you're going to hear about. So I think that's where I draw my conclusion is that people want to see the best of the best, not a second rate. And I'm not saying that women's sports is second rate. It's just not the competitive that men's are. And for the biggest reason is that women don't participate in those sports as a profession. It's a way to go to school. It's something they enjoy and can go to school, but there's nothing past that will keep them going with a livelihood. So it sounds kind of sexist, and I'm not trying to be so, but that's just my opinion.
So let's see. Master DPM says, I don't care if you're male, female, dog, alien, toaster, or a rock with hands. If you play video games, you're alright with me. Bitfox says, I've been playing games forever, and when voice chat came around, guys would be shocked. I can use a controller too. Twisted said, my ex was a pro Street Fighter player. She would smash people at Evo. Amberu said, same Jade Fox, or they immediately thought I was a little boy. Yeah, no, it's quite amazing to see the difference on, like, the fact of the matter is, oh my god, there's a girl playing a video game. Well, why is that a shock? It doesn't make any sense to me.
And that kind of goes back to my point. This is the younger generation that's having this problem. I'm 50 years old and I could care less. It doesn't surprise me. I don't care if you're male or female playing the game. But I don't understand why teens and 20s are having such an issue with this. It boggles the mind. Usually it's the other way. The older generation is the one that has problems, but this is not an older generation thing.
For me, like, I see it a lot happen in streaming too. When people will go into a female streamer's channel and they're surprised that they're seeing a girl playing games or just streaming in general. It doesn't even have to be playing games. Just seeing a girl streaming on a streaming website. And it's like, for me, it's like you do understand that like more than half the population is female, right? Like it's there's going to be the other gender on the website. That's just how it works. It's not like, it's not like everyone has shock collars on them and they're not allowed to, enter the website, It's like it doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand.
And the truth of the matter, there's two women that stream that every time I go into both of their channels, the first thing I say is, girls can't play games because it's a joke. But now that I see this, I'm gotta wonder how many people really think that. Because I do it to Cassie every time I go into hers, and then there's another girl that I do it to all the time. But it's a joke, and they both realize it, and they're obviously good at games. Because otherwise, I wouldn't say stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it is. It just kind of scares me that are we going backwards in thought processes about certain things with the younger generation, that we've gained all this ground and now we're going to go backwards. So
yeah. There's definitely a lot, and I'm seeing a lot of the females share a lot of their personal issues with or issues that they've run into with online gaming. I'm just gonna read them instead of saying who is receiving this stuff, but like being hit on immediately because you're a female, being called a slut because you're because you're streaming, like because you turned on a camera, you are a slut. I'm a male slut, guys. I'm just all over Mixer constantly. It's crazy. But yeah, and then
show Bob's.
That's like girls, like they stream or they're playing games and they're just getting messages saying show your boobs, and like just crazy, man. It's just unbelievable. It's honestly the females who do well on streaming platforms and don't like give into any of these issues, like either don't confront it at all, or there's girls that do take the stand and try to fight it. Unfortunately, taking the stand and trying to fight it will automatically cause backlash. People will just come into your stream just to troll you because you took a stand, and it's really bad. But to be fair on that sense, not that it is fair, but to be fair on that sense is that if you fight for anything on the internet, you're going to get trolled with the opposite, no matter what. Like being a straight male, if I fought for gay rights, you're gonna, like, on public Twitter, you're going to see people start flooding into my stream, like, doing anti-gay slurs, things along that line. That's just the fact of the internet. It's because people can hide behind a fake name. So
of some of the female streamers I've already interviewed, one of my questions is how do you deal with this exact point? Ban.
He's not wrong.
Ban. Ignore them. Let mods handle them. Ban.
Yeah.
That's every one of their answers is, and I hate to say that when the females shouldn't have to face it in the first place, but they definitely shouldn't confront them. I don't think males should be doing it either. I honestly think that the confrontation only makes it worse, male or female, and you should just let your mods deal with it and ignore it. It's just, or you can get away with what Keith does, and I've seen other streamers do, is you make it kind of humorous because it makes them look silly then.
I'm Keith, by the way.
I don't know why I'm using your first name now. It's stuck in my head. It's just like Cassie. I cannot call her Miss Merciless because I've always known her as Cassie.
I don't call her Miss Merciless either. It's too long. For me, it's too long. Her name used to be Siren, which I would say, but like Miss Merciless is too long for me to say. I just say Cassie. Much easier.
So I know somebody mentioned about modding for female streamers. I
That was
mod for
twisted.
several of them, and I know exactly what you're talking about. There's some days it's an absolute
Oh no, that was bearded.
nightmare.
Um,
It's just a nightmare.
yeah. Bearded says I mod for a female streamer and things I delete. It's amazing. I can't believe that anyone thinks it's okay. It's unbelievable, man. It really is unbelievable. Wasn't there an anti-troll group that was making videos on hunting down harassers? I don't know about that one.
And that's the exact wrong thing to do.
Yeah, if you cause uproars like that, it doesn't make it better. It really
All you're
doesn't.
doing is making it worse.
You're attracting all of these people to cause more hate. So, unfortunately, it doesn't make it better. The best thing that you could possibly do is you're constantly deleting and banning for Cassie. The best possible thing you could do, which when I was teaching streaming, was like mentioning this, when you're in a chat, whether it's one person who came in to attack you or you have 5,000 people coming in and most are good and then you have the bad guy, you don't want to give attention to the bad person because that means that they know they're going to get a response out of you if they say something bad. But if you only talk to all of the good comments around them, they know, or they see it as, oh, this guy's not even responding, I'm not even gonna bother. And if you have your mods who are on point, and that's why I always say, like, you gotta bring in the right mods. You're gonna have, like, you see all these channels that have like 50 mods. I have 8 mods. You see channels with like 50 mods and yet all this stuff just exists in their chat. It's because they're modding everyone. They're modding everyone and no one has a real job. The point of being a mod is keeping the chat clean. But if I have like everyone being a mod, then no one actually feels that they're doing like a part. They're acting as a role. So yeah.
Candy Chaos said, I don't have good mods, so I only stream friends. It's both easy and hard to find a good mod.
You don't want to mod your.
I'm kind of 3/4 mod in all the channels I mod because it's just the way it is. Because I do so much other side stuff. But everybody I mod for knows that. And I pop in and out, and that's just the way it is. But what you need is find one person that will be dedicated to your channel almost full time. And that's all it really takes, is to have that one person. Then you start bringing in, even if they're part-timers, that can just kind of help. I've seen MD and I've seen Muffin do it. And I've seen Amberu, was it Amberu that was modded and then unmodded?
For like one day or for a while?
For a while. It was Rogue.
Yeah.
Rogue. I saw Rogue do it for a while one day when you had to remod for whatever reason it was.
Yep.
They can handle the whole chat by themselves up to a point. And that's what I'm saying. If you find one good person that will be dedicated to you, you can make it work, especially as a small streamer. And then you wait for the regulars that come in there. They help out. They seem smart. They're not children. And you mod them and say it's temporary. If you do a horrible job, I'm going to unmod you.
Yeah. I always say that all of my like, if I have to mod someone that day, that it's always temporary. Because I always try to teach all of my new mods how to mod appropriately, because people think that, you can just time out and stuff, but and ban and do all that stuff. But each channel has their own personal stuff. And I don't go into details on what those personal things are for my channel, because I don't need the regular chat knowing what we get away with and stuff. So there's the whole differences between that. But yeah, it's I can't imagine how much I mean, I can imagine because I've seen it, but being the female streamer who runs into those issues, they deal with so much worse than what male streamers go through. So pretty crazy.
Okay, because I guess I need to explain myself better. But British Chair says we are all just like guys: good, bad, shy, slutty, smart, not so smart. Gender does not define talent, sports or gaming, in my opinion. It's when you're talking about physical sports, it's not talent that defines it. It's actual physical presence. If you look at just a height difference, the average woman is substantially shorter than the average man. The average man can lift more than the average woman. That's the only reason. It's genetics. It has nothing to do with smarts, intelligence, talent, anything. That's my whole point that I was trying to make with that. I wasn't trying to say they were any less talented or any less capable. It's just a physical difference that makes the difference. Whereas, like I said, in gaming, it doesn't, because you don't have to physically do anything except run your thumbs. And anybody can.
I actually think a lot of the bigger difference between it is you just have to look at the difference in how much time that these sports have existed. You'll notice that like professional snowboarders and professional whatever it may be, curlers, it doesn't matter. Anything that's not a major, basically if it has a major league title in front of it, any of those sports have been proactive on television and for a very long time. However, the female versions of those sports have not existed for as long, or at least if they have, they haven't been broadcasted for as long. So you'll see a lot of the population are already dedicated to the ones that have been around for much longer. But for things like you see Olympian sports, there's plenty of sports, and this is silly too, is like, if you look at gymnastics, right? Gymnastics and Olympian sports, gymnastics is dominated by females, but you see plenty of great male gymnasts. The fact of the matter is that male gymnasts has not been a very proactive sport for the male population as long as females. So a lot of them are put down and frowned upon, and it's just unfortunate because of that. I literally see no difference. Like I don't like basketball. I'd watch a male or a female basketball game the same exact way because it doesn't make a difference to me. I see them both equal. And it's just what it is. When it comes to chess, a female brain has the same potential as a male brain to dominate the other player in a game of chess, So, I am excited to see more females entering the professional video gaming. Unfortunately, the internet is the worst possible place for that to happen, and that's just where it exists. Professional gaming is an internet-based competition. So,
what British Chair just said, what we do very well. Exactly.
Oh yeah.
There are things that women exceed men in that are not physical, just because it's a different way to think. I don't know how this thing started with women can't do math, but if you look at it if you went to school and remembered, the people that did the best in math class were usually female. I remember it that way. They generally do better in academics than men. And there's studies out there that prove all this stuff. I've read some of this stuff before. But I wanted to go back to the snowboarding thing you mentioned. Even in that, even though it's relatively new, the men are still doing bigger tricks than the women. And as far as in say like the pipe, where they have that big half pipe.
Yeah.
Men are pulling off triples coming up up to the top of it where women are pulling doubles.
I think
It has to do with speed, and it's just not generating the speed and lift.
The Army's proven women can do more sit-ups than
Yep.
physically, and women are better at ruck marching because design can't run as well, but we walk carrying weight better than men can.
I think like those are great points, Army Chick. The for the snowboarding thing, you do have a point in like getting more speed in air. A lot of that is due to the weight of the average male who's doing that, and like literally your mass will help you build up that speed.
But there's a reason we still separate these physical sports by gender, and it's and you're right. You're playing with more to prove and way less support funds. In the pro level, in the college level, that's not true because the Title IX, I think, pretty much ended that a long time ago.
Well, I was actually going to agree with British Shares on that point. Is if you look at it in the sense of looking at sponsorships and looking at money that's funded into things like that, I promise you that like you will see if you see 30 new Olympians doing snowboarding for the next Olympic trials, you'll see that the majority are men simply because companies want to see their names as much as they can, and unfortunately, because since these sports have had more time broadcasting men, they know that they have a higher success rate of getting their logo or their advertisement played out more if they're sponsoring more men rather than women. So you'll see a lot of that. It's a lot of the statistics on business. How can I get my logo shown more for the next Olympic trials? Let's put some money into some of the athletes. We're going to get some from female, so we should definitely put some money over there and try to recruit some female. But we know that the men get more airtime, television time. So we have a higher chance of getting our logo plastered if we're putting more money into the men. And unfortunately, that's really bad because what that says is, all of these females who have the potential to be a great snowboarder might not get that new snowboard that they need to show that they are worth being an Olympian. But you'll see men, like you'll see the average number of men who also need a new snowboard to show that they are worth the Olympian will get that a lot easier than the women will. So unfortunately, money is greed in that sense. So
yeah, I agree with you 100%, but I do see that changing, especially in the X Games. With the X Games, you're seeing a bigger percentage of women get airtime and sponsors than you are kind of in society, I think, as far as like the Olympics or anything else. That's my hope that may spread and change that. But I agree 100% with what you said. I don't know how I can get uncrosswise, so I'm just going to give up, and we're going to have to agree to disagree, because I don't think that having a conversation continues a stigma. Having a conversation is the only way to get past things. You got to have an open, real conversation about reality. Otherwise, we're just taking pot shots at each other all the time about things that mean nothing.
I think a lot of it is British Shares is showing that the points that you're making are the reasons why women are not progressed further in these sports, and showing that they have the same capabilities as men. But unfortunately, on your end, for your positive, is that you're saying that this is like why this stuff originally occurred, and why it's still seen this way, why the average male will go to watch male sports rather than watching either both male and female, or just watching female. And it's because of this previous stigma and what had occurred in these sports. Because in the end, why does it matter if the men sport can jump higher than the female? You know, in the end, when you're playing male versus male, they're all gonna jump the same height, and when
Exactly.
when you're playing female versus female, they're all gonna jump the same height. So what does it matter if you watch game 1 or game 2? They're all jumping the same height anyway. So,
if there wasn't, well, I refuse to go so PC that I cannot make fun of stupidity in society. And by doing that, which I do with people I know that understand it, is not continuing a stigma. This is poking fun at the stupidity of people that think that women can't play games. We've gotten so far into this mentality that if you say something wrong, you're going to trigger somebody, or you're bullying them, or you just can't hurt their feelings. None of that is what that is, British. It's more acknowledging the way it's said is that you are a great game player. And this is how silly this sounds when somebody, look, a game. That's the whole intent, and I only use it with people that understand that intent. Would I use it with everybody? No, not a chance, because not everybody understands that intent. But I don't think that continues the stigma if it's not my true meaning. And like I said, I refuse to go so PC that I can't make a joke. It's ridiculous. Everybody's so afraid of saying something nowadays that they won't say what's on their mind, and we can't be honest with each other. And it's going to take a conversation with honesty. I am very accomplished. I don't mean like mean-spirited comments about women. I guess I don't understand that. But I have nothing against women. I'm married to one who's in the Army, who could do many things much better than I can. One of them happens to be shooting. She's very good at it. I'm not. So there is no gender bias on my part. It just has some of what I think and I believe it has to do with what I see in society and what the realities are based on the way men and women are built differently. That's a good example you would have is bowling, because I taught bowling for a while, and in my opinion, women are better bowlers than men because the way they are built, they can open their shoulder when they go back and get their shoulder closed by the time they release the ball. It's a bowling thing. Men can't do that. If a man opens his shoulder, he'll never get it back. And that's one way I think women are actually better at bowling as a sport than men are. You take fast pitch softball. Women are better at that. You take professional baseball players and they get blown out by an underhanded fast pitch female throwing a ball at them. They can't hit it, but these women do. So there are exceptions to that rule, but I don't know how else I can explain it better without digging a bigger hole at this point.
No, I understand. Yeah, a lot of things will end up becoming the genetic differences because, in the end, yes, a female can prove themselves to be exactly the same way as a male through exercise and training and things like that. There's no doubting that, you know, a female can be just as physically capable as a man. I think a lot of what Bad Frog's saying is that the human genetic line is just showing that men are built a certain way that allows them to excel a lot easier without having to put as much effort as a female into, like, let's say, slam dunking a basketball. A male just has that benefit because men are generally genetically taller than female by default. But that doesn't mean females don't have the capability of doing it, nor do they have any less capability of doing it. It's just a matter of training themselves. Men have to train themselves less because they have the height advantage. And I think that's a lot closer to where Bad Frog was going, in the sense of like strength capabilities and advantages that men have over female, is just the genetic differences along the human genome is so there's just the facts in the line that the average male just has certain advantages over females, and females are going to have the certain advantages over male, and both can train their bodies to be a certain way, just depending on what the function is that you're trying to obtain.
There are limitations, but that will show up at some point. But yes, generally that's the case. And
for the most part, I mean,
if you, for example, powerlifting, women can train as much as they want. They're never going to power lift more than a man that does it. It's just not going to happen.
I mean, are there studies that say that though? That I mean,
you look at any powerlifting contest.
That's the part that I don't know.
Women cannot generate, and this is genetics. They cannot generate the muscle mass that men do, and of course, this is all genetics because you go back to the Stone Age where. I'm just not going to go there because I'll get in trouble, even though it's reality. But yeah, there's studies that show men have the shorter, slow twitch muscles that can be bulked, and women have the longer, fast twitch muscles that are meant for speed and dexterity, in which I think goes into the reason why there's a slight advantage with females as gamers with a controller than there is with men, if you believe the studies.
I gotcha.
Kangas has one I completely 100% agree with, and I probably agree with, and she even does. Danica Patrick was a female NASCAR driver, but no one took her seriously, and I felt it's because of the GoDaddy commercials of her in a bikini that she would do because they were her top sponsor. Like men just looked at her as a sex object and not as a driver. Absolutely 100%. She should have never done those commercials.
I agree with that to a very strong majority, but unfortunately the stigma is that a woman shouldn't be driving in NASCAR. And unfortunately that's just due to years of, it's the same thing as racism. It's the same thing, unfortunately the African American community has a stigma against them, and it's for the stupidest reasons, and it's just all these years of negativity bringing them down, right? And then you have the same thing for women, like you see throughout the 1900s, women empowering, and that's fantastic, and it needs to continue, because the fact of the matter is like, why can't a woman drive a NASCAR and be just as successful and not have all this negativity? It's just, you're driving a car, like, it doesn't. There's no difference.
I see people using some of the arguments that I'm trying to use, basketball and football, but what kills those examples, saying that men are just physically stronger and they need to be strong to drive the car, is there's some fat gut people getting out of them cars. That ain't in any shape at all. So that throws that argument right out the window.
Yeah, no.
Women are just as capable as men as driving one.
And plus that technology, like, in order to turn the wheels and stuff, it doesn't. A baby could drive those cars. But yeah. And then on top of it is unfortunately, and that's a stupid thing too, is that why can't a woman do a commercial in a bikini and not get judged? Like, if a man does an underwear commercial, is he gonna get judged?
No, it's not.
I mean, probably to some extent, but nowhere near the bikini commercial. And I'd say an underwear commercial for men is probably a lot more revealing than a bikini commercial, because essentially it's a bathing suit. But if you put a man in his underwear, that's a lot different, you know? So it's crazy. Plus, like, those GoDaddy commercials were all sex-based anyway, so.
Yep. I have to give up, British, because you're going to take everything I say and go a different route than what my intent is. So I give up. We're just going to have to leave it at
that. Military says, I think there's a line of misunderstanding, miscommunication. There's no hate here in the stream, and it's hard to relay someone's point of view. I gotcha. It looks like the chat wants to move on to the last subject, which is favorite food and favorite food to cook or eat. So when I was writing down this topic, the idea of the matter was because not everyone in the stream is either old enough to cook or has experience to cook. And I wanted them to be able to contribute by saying, you know, not like going out to eat. I don't want to know what their favorite fast food is. I want to know what their favorite home cooked meal is. And if you have a favorite home cooked meal, even as an adult, but you have a favorite meal that you enjoy cooking as a different meal, I want to hear it, because it's pretty interesting to me. Because I personally have a different favorite home cooked meal versus a favorite meal that I enjoy cooking. I actually have two different ones. So
that, and you use a crock pot, but that's completely beside the point.
Well, that's different. I use crock pots for larger meals, so that way I can package them. But McFly brings in a good point. We are running a little bit later than we normally are, so let me do the code of the day, and then we'll jump back into this conversation. Because I don't want people to be forced to stay up just because we started late. So yeah, let me do the code of the day real quick, and we'll jump right into this. So I got one more. Maybe. There we go. Okay. Code of the day. If you don't know what the code of the day is, if you type !Mixcast in the chat, you'll get whispered a link. Or you can click the button below that looks like a P. If you click that, it'll provide a link in the chat in where you can click that, do all the social media stuff, which is all new as of yesterday, so make sure you go and redo it. You'll get a secret code of the day every day. Yesterday there was 2, and I'm going to upload that tonight during tonight's stream. So make sure you go back, watch them, get the codes. Today's code is PlayStation. So if you go to Mixcast, or if you type !Mixcast in the chat, you'll get whispered a link. Type in PlayStation for the secret code of today, and get yourself some extra bonus points. This year's giveaway is 1 year of Xbox Live. So, good luck, everyone. PlayStation is one word. Capitalization does not matter. Go get your extra points. I believe in you. One of you will win. And by the way, the winner of the $50 card did claim their prize. So yeah, there's no redraw on that one. So I will be sending them their prize this week. All right, let's jump into favorite foods. Whether it's you cooking it or it's whether you eating it. Let's see. Kangas says, my mom's meatloaf. I would always ask for it for your birthday dinner. Ooh, meatloaf. My mom would make a really good meatloaf too. Maybe there's just something with moms and making meatloaf. Do you have a meal that you enjoy cooking yourself, Kangas? Bearded said, I had shepherd's pie last night. Love it. Such good comfort food. Did you make it, or is that your most favorite comfort food? Bearded. Military Dragon says, fried rice, love to cook it and eat it. You can do so much with it and different ways to prepare it. I agree with you. Out of Chinese food, fried rice is probably my favorite as well because, I mean, you can make pork fried rice, chicken fried rice, you know, you can put steak in it, you can put different sauces in it. That's my favorite part about fried rice, is I enjoy putting different sauces in fried rice because it alters the taste slightly, and it still remains the same. It's still fried rice. Doesn't like, consistency doesn't change, but the flavor is now different. I love adding sauces to fried rice. So, let's see. Bearded said that he made the shepherd's pie. Interesting. So, is it your favorite meal to make and your favorite meal to eat, Bearded? Let's see. Master DPM says he needs to cook more. Do you have a favorite meal, Master DPM? Kinga says, I like baking more than cooking. I like making cakes. I made my son a Sea of Thieves cake for his 5th birthday. It wasn't, beautiful, but he loved it. I bet it was amazing. Don't you say that it wasn't beautiful. BU, thank you for the host. Whoa, big host. Hello. From BU's big host. If you guys have a favorite meal that you enjoy cooking or a favorite meal that you enjoy eating, that's the current topic. So let us know. Let's see. Rogue Diamond says, I enjoy cooking lasagna and cheesecake for Jade. Now, is Jade gonna turn around and say that her favorite meal is Rogue Diamond's cheesecake or lasagna? Because she enjoys making it. No? Aww. You enjoy making deviled eggs. I love deviled eggs. I love them. I want to try making them for my first time. I've never made deviled eggs. What's up, Axeman Ace? McFly, thank you for the host. Also, we just did the code of the day, guys. If you guys are from BU stream, if you type !Mixcast in the chat or press the big P button in the interactive buttons, you'll get whispered a code. Type in PlayStation for this for today's episode's code. There's a new code every episode where you can gain extra points in order to win 1 year of Xbox Live for free. So, So
where do we leave off at here?
I'm kind of all over the place. If you want to start reading from probably Pirate King, that would be a good place for you to start, and then catching up from below, and I have above. Let's see. Jade Fox, barbecue chili homemade favorite homemade food is nachos. Yeah, because you trolled me with your nachos the other night. I wanted the nachos. You were telling me they were like the hottest jalapenos you've ever eaten. All I wanted was nachos. You make me hungry, and the stream is called Big Hungry. I'm always hungry because of you, Jade Fox. Pirate King, thank you for the follow.
Master DPM has got one of my favorites. Although it's not the top of the list. I like eating mashed potatoes and brown gravy.
Ooh.
I got my difference between brown gravy and white gravy depending on what the main is, but I agree with you. There's like nothing better.
Well, white gravy you'd put like closer to biscuits and white gravy, like a sausage gravy.
Well, you can have like biscuits and sausage gravy. Or you can have that same sort of gravy on chicken fried steak.
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
You would have potatoes with it, and you put white gravy in that. Chicken fried steak, all-time favorite thing to eat. I can eat that stuff every day.
Yeah.
Biscuits and gravy is a close second. All put weight on my butt.
I actually had I went to a local fried chicken and waffles place here in Seattle that was definitely Atlanta, Georgia, like Southern owned. Like, these people probably moved directly from Georgia to Seattle and opened up a chicken and waffles place. It was so good. It was so good. And I mean, and yeah, they use like white gravy on a whole bunch of stuff for that. Amber's favorite home cooked entree is actually homemade fried chicken. Forever a favorite. I make homemade fried chicken, but I'm not the best at it. But it is fantastic. It's so good making your own fried chicken. It's hard. It's hard.
Oh, yeah.
It's not easy making fried chicken.
Yeah, I have my favorite fried chicken store.
Oh.
A friend of mine, we were working construction. He goes home one, and he comes back and tells me this. His wife had made him this fantastic meal.
Okay.
It was fried chicken and potatoes and corn on the cob, and the fried chicken looked perfect until he bit into it.
It was uncooked?
It was uncooked,
it's
basically.
So hard to make perfect fried chicken.
Without burning it.
Without burning it and making sure it's fully cooked. It's hard, man. That is a difficult food. And, like, Southern people who can manage it and make it look like it's nothing, it's unbelievable. That's a talent, man. Yep. That's a talent. Now I want Southern biscuits and gravy. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, this is a bad segment to walk into if you enjoy food. Let's see. Miss JG says she likes pork roast and fried apples. What is a fried apple? Like fried apple slices, or like you actually fry an entire apple? Fried apple slices? I don't know if I've ever had that. Of course,
with sugar and cinnamon on them.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had that, to be honest.
I think I've had that before. It's like a apple pie with no crust.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Halo Collector's favorite meal is baked salmon with a rice. Is it pilaf?
Pilaf.
What is pilaf?
Rice pilaf.
I don't
know what it is, but you've had it before.
I probably have.
It's not the kind that got stuck in your throat.
Rice pilaf. Ah, okay.
Rice pilaf.
Okay. Just a bed of rice. Yeah. I'm actually with Halo Collector actually named my favorite meal. My favorite possible meal is salmon. I love salmon. That's my favorite possible meal. Now, you guys always hear me say that Chinese food is my favorite meal, but that's my favorite, that's my favorite go-to meal. You can't just go to salmon all the time because it's expensive, right? So my favorite
Especially
go-to,
if you're doing wild caught and not farm.
Yeah, true.
There is a huge difference between them taste-wise.
Oh, yeah. Amber says, shrimp Alfredo is my favorite food that I make. It's so unhealthy, but it's so good. Don't you dare say anything unhealthy about shrimp Alfredo. I'll eat shrimp Alfredo every single night. So you back off. You'll be
as big as me in no time if you do it. That gets to my, I guess you would say, my favorite food, which is now left my brain because I looked up and saw something else on TV.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I hate when that happens.
Green Arrow says, cooking wise, I can cook some amazing hamburgers and tacos. I'm going to Green Arrow's house and he's going to cook me some tacos. That's what I want. Homemade tacos.
I got it. I make my own tomatillo sauce from scratch.
Tomatillo sauce.
And get it a little past warm on the heat side. And then you put some chicken in there and cook the chicken in it so it gets nice and tender. And then you roll it up into a flour tortilla, throw it in the oven, get the flour tortilla crispy, and then make that sour cream sauce that goes on the top. You see on chicken enchiladas.
Sure, yeah.
I make a sour cream sauce on top of that after when you serve it. That's my favorite meal to make ever. It is so good.
It sounds good. All right, so I read a lot of this. Pyrat King said, I enjoy making Jaeger schnitzel and Spatzel? I don't know what that is.
Spatzel.
Spatzel? What is
Spatzel.
that? What is that?
It's good stuff.
I don't know what
It's
that
good
is.
stuff.
I don't know what literally anything that Pirate King said. Jaeger Schnitzel and Spatzel. I don't know what any of that is.
It's German, man.
I mean, it sounds German. Let's see.
Red gravy on BU says red gravy on Wise. Define red gravy because I'm frightened by that.
Oh, I wanted to ask about that too. I wasn't sure what red gravy was either. Rogue Diamond says she thinks that her sister's favorite meal that she makes is carrot cake and spaghetti and meatballs. Just a classic spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good.
Yeah, when I'm feeling good, I'll go get 5 pounds of tomatoes and run.
You get 5 pounds of tomatoes and what? Sorry.
I run them through my food mill. I got an electric food mill that gets all this out and the skins off, and I'll make a massive thing of spaghetti sauce and then freeze it, a bunch of it.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, biscuits and gravy got to a lot of people. See, as I'm going down the list here.
Yeah, well, we were talking about biscuits and gravy for a while, and fried chicken.
Yeah.
Jade Fox says the key to cooking Southern fried chicken is cook 15 minutes on each side. That's probably about what I do, because you got to cook it on a low temperature so you're not burning the crispiness on the outside too fast.
Well, there's a fine line between too hot and too cold, because it won't crisp up, and then it lets all the oil into the chicken.
Oh yeah, and then you just have soggy. Yeah. No, you can't do that. Grinning Typo says we tried orange chicken. It took forever to make the toughest rubbery chicken ever.
Oh, you can't. You can't cook the chicken the whole time. The chicken is better if it's pre-cooked and just thrown in at the end, just to get mixed into the sauce.
By the way, thank you for all of the sparks, guys. Rurin, BU, Candy, thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, see. Rogue says don't overcrowd the skillet. That's true. I'm guilty of that a lot.
Let's see.
I'm still looking for the answer to red gravy.
BU says I experimented with salmon this year. Interesting to try and cook. I actually grill mine. I grill my salmon. I love my grill though. I have a Traeger Woodfire electric grill.
Oh,
I love my grill.
You went so big good. Time.
It's a small one.
No, I mean big time grills. That's near the top end.
Yeah. No, I know. I got it at Costco. Costco had them on sale, and I was like, you know what? I'm going for it. I'm gonna get myself a nice grill. So, actually, we split it between the 3 roommates, all pitched in together to get it. So,
oh, that's a good one. BU says ramen is my favorite food. I go to any ramen. Yeah, we're not talking about the stuff that comes in a packet. Real ramen is something else.
Oh yeah,
especially if it's handmade noodles. Oh, so good.
Pirate King says I make a gangster carne guisada. And I came up with a new meal. It's a fajita roll. If it's like a burrito or like a what are they called? A taquito, but a fajita, that would be amazing. Like a taquito fajita, that would be crazy. That'd be crazy.
All right, I guess I need to go down to here where I keep getting.
Good night, Amber. You got to pack for your trip to Michigan? I have to pack to my trip to the mountains because I'm going snowboarding tomorrow. So,
apparently, Miss JG answered the Reds gravy question, I guess.
Oh, did
but
she?
I'm not finding it. So I'm going to sit right here at the bottom of the list until I get the answer.
She said Italian. It's just spaghetti sauce. Italian sauce gravy. Wait, BU, is that right? Your red gravy is just spaghetti sauce? On rice? I don't.
Okay.
Jade Fox says no.
Oh, we like that. Jade Fox says no. Rogue says yes.
Her sister says
I love
yes.
It.
Oh, there we go. BU says no. Red gravy is gravy. Red eye gravy is a country thing, not a tomato sauce. It's made from ham drippings and coffee, apparently.
Oh my god, the ham dripping's good. Coffee, I don't know.
That's interesting. I'd have to try it. I'm not judging it until I try it. Gunner MTV says my favorite food to make are bad frog legs. So yummy.
Look, Gubber, do we want to discuss the whole Gubber thing at some point? Because I'm more than happy to.
Candy Chaos says I like corned beef cooked with potatoes. Corned beef is a good traditional Irish meal. Very good Irish meal with potatoes as well. Also Irish. Let's see.
See, Ray says I've had steak and the sauce had a hint of coffee in it. It was good. I've had those. That whole ham drippings and coffee sauce was just, it didn't sound like a good thing to me, but I've been wrong before. That's how you make gravy, Candy. Bacon, grease, milk, and flour and salt.
Military says rubber chicken is still chicken. Oh god. Roadkill says you should really try a Basque style salmon, like a steak size, with a healthy amount of butter with garlic and pepper wrapped in foil to cook. You just serve it with a beautiful butter filled foil pocket. That sounds unbelievable. I need this. I need this in my life right now. That sounds amazing. You smoke salmon on your smoker. My Traeger grill is actually also a smoker. So I've never smoked anything in it yet, but I really want to.
It's really nice. My neighbors 2 floors up have it with that Traeger. And during the summer, they make the most incredible stuff that they can share with us.
I want to make one. I want to smoke something. BU says, oh wait, oh no, I read that. Oh no, she added to it. It's a thin sauce made from the juice left in the pan after cooking a country ham. Country ham differs from other hams because it is salt cured for several months and are typically hardwood smoked, and then it has coffee added to it. Interesting.
Sorry, bearded Viking, and this is absolutely true. When older people say made with love, they mean butter. Lots of butter.
It's true.
Fat equals love.
It's true. 100%. 100%.
That's 100% true. Oh, popcorn is actually just a butter delivery device. Popcorn is not that good unless it's butter. So it's a butter delivery device. At least that's what I use it for.
Oh, Pirate King is telling me about his fajita roll. It's a fajita marinara wrapped around queso fresco and guac. You will make 3 and then send to my house. I want. I'm surprised I haven't seen anyone in here say making bacon pancakes. So, man, this chat is making need all the food right now. No games, just need hometown homemade buffet of food. I agree.
Okay, this is what happens every time we talk about it. It just goes insane.
Let's see. I'm almost caught up to the bottom.
Halo Collector says, don't disregard kettle corn popcorn. Have you ever had kettle corn popcorn fresh made? That is, and seen it made? That is the most dangerous food in the world to make. They cook it in these big.
Oh, the big pots? Almost like the round pots, yeah.
They throw the sugar in there and it comes flying out, boiling hot like lava.
Yeah.
Oh my
crazy.
goodness.
It's crazy.
Yeah, copper, not iron, but oh my goodness. I watched it a couple of times in Salem. And just They're wearing these big long gloves and got burn spots on them from sugar sticking to them.
I think I'm almost caught up. Bearded says I say that in my restaurant all the time. We don't cook for health. It's true because Bearded, you're the chef for your restaurant, right? Or like the head chef, I guess. You would be the head chef for your restaurant. Oh, you're a sous chef. Okay, I thought you were the head chef. Okay, I gotcha. Oh, that's
Of course,
funny.
anything wrapped in bacon is good. I mean, you can.
I'm the opposite. I'm not a person who says bacon has to be on everything. I think bacon is select because it's too salty. I'm just
I
not.
don't think it has to be on everything. Just 95% of it doesn't belong on cheese, for example.
I'm not a huge salt person, which is a benefit because salt is not going to be great for you. So, but yeah, I'm not a big bacon person because it's too salty.
Yeah, it's the. I like asparagus anyway, but my wife's invented this bacon wrapped asparagus with cheese on top, and oh my goodness, is it good!
Well, asparagus. So I'm not an asparagus person, but if you do asparagus with cheese, I don't know what it is. The cheese just makes it fantastic. So good.
Oh, pancetta.
What is that?
It's
Apparently it's salty.
It's a corn. Yeah. It's like what is it? It's like grits, but it's made out of corn. But it's not quite grits, but it's close.
Waffles are better than pancakes? I think I actually agree. It's just too hard to make waffles because you need a waffle maker. And I just like taking out the pan and just putting batter, you know.
I can't do French toast, gal, because I can't figure out that place where it gets too much milk in it and where it doesn't have enough. So it's either just bone dry on the inside or just disgustingly wet. So I've given up on French toast. But I like to have it at a restaurant that they know how to make it.
Dude, it says it's cured pork that tastes like extra salty bacon. Jade Fox says it's Italian bacon.
Oh, okay. I was thinking. Yes, it's very salty and very, very good.
Kinga says I'm not a fan of bacon, not since I worked somewhere that would cook like 5 pounds of bacon, and that's all I would smell. Even would smell like it when you got home. You'd smell like bacon when you got home? Oh my god.
Oh my god. Can I marry you if you smell like bacon?
It was gross. That's funny.
There you go, bacon.
There it is.
Bacon on the flex.
My favorite meal to actually cook myself though, I actually have two. I enjoy making custom dips, so like usually like different kinds of quesos, or burgers. And that's like completely irrelevant to what my stream is. I just like the fact that you can do anything with a burger. You can put an egg in a burger. You literally just make, I put barbecue sauce in the meat and then like pack it up inside of the meat. So it's cooking inside of the burger the whole time. I just love the customization that you can do with burgers. I love it. I can't do fried eggs because I have digestive issues with egg whites. But if I cook the entire egg and the egg whites are indistinguishable, I don't have a problem with it. So I have to either cook the whole egg or just the yolk. So
Of course, with the hamburger, you can combine two of the best foods ever, which is hamburger and macaroni and cheese into one delicious.
I do macaroni and cheeseburgers
of greatness.
Yep, macaroni and cheeseburgers. That's what I'm saying. Is like burgers are so customizable. It's fantastic, so customizable.
Yeah,
but
you
man,
put jalapeno peppers on them.
making macaroni and cheeseburgers takes forever because you have to plan everything. you have to plan the whole burger. Let's see.
Have you ever had a pizza burger? Use pizza as your buns. I thought a pizza burger was when you got a hamburger pizza and you took 2 slices and folded them over to each other and ate it like a sandwich. That's just me. But I've never used a pizza as a bun.
A whole pizza, just like you just put the burger in the center of the pizza. Or if you've been to Taco Bell, you know Crunchwrap Supremes. It's like a tortilla that they just fold up a bunch. You could do that with a burger. You have the burger put in the middle of the pizza, just fold the pizza up a bunch, and you eat it like a wrap.
And how do you cook that triangle shaped burger so it will fit on your pizza slices?
Have you had a donut burger? Oh my god. Do you guys know what oh my god, what is the Tom and Chi? Do you guys know the restaurant Tom and Chi?
No, that's a different one. I was thinking that was one of those that was on television. That was
Tom and Chi was on Shark Tank.
Oh yeah. It was a tomato and sandwich.
Yeah, it was Tom and Chi was on Shark Tank, and there was one in Tampa, Florida, where I lived. And it's so good. They specialize in grilled cheese sandwiches and tomato soup. Now, granted, I don't eat tomato soup, but their grilled cheese sandwiches were not what you think they were. They're not what you think they are. They're donuts as bread. So you take a grilled cheese sandwich, but you cut a Krispy Kreme donut in half. And then you grill the grilled cheese on that. So you have a half a donut on the bottom, cheese, whatever toppings, if you put macaroni and cheese or whatever, and then your other half of the grilled donut and put that on top. Now, it's literally a heart attack in a sandwich, but it's amazing. It's amazing.
How can you not like tomato soup?
I don't like tomatoes, so...
I don't particularly care for them raw either, but tomato soup is
I don't
good.
like tomatoes, period. I can barely get away with pizza. I don't like tomatoes, period. No red sauces. No nothing. No nothing. So.
Your life is empty. It's very empty. And the best way to make a grilled cheese sandwich is with an iron.
With an iron? You could.
Yeah.
They actually make like irons for stoves. If you've seen those, they make irons.
I've seen people make grilled cheese sandwich with an iron.
Yeah,
it's quite interesting. But cheese.
I feel like 6 months was taken off of my life when I ate it, but it was worth. They have a challenge too. They have a challenge for Tom and Chi. If you ate a baker's dozen of those sandwiches.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
If you ate a baker's dozen of the donut grilled cheese sandwiches, you would actually win them for a year. You could come in and grab one for like any day for a year. So,
yeah, and your gut's gonna be.
But you only had 30 minutes to eat it. So you had to eat 13 sandwiches, which was 13 donuts and cheese and grease in 30 minutes.
I could eat a baker's dozen if I really tried, but I'd be miserable all day afterwards. I couldn't add the cheese and the grease.
Yeah, think about it. If you took a Krispy Kreme donut and you were to grill it, imagine all of that grease. That's all in there, plus all the grease from the cheese. It's crazy. You can eat 4 in 30 minutes? Yeah, this is 13 donut sandwiches. Donut grilled cheese sandwiches in 30 minutes. That's basically...
but after you did that, you wouldn't want any more.
I think that's the point. I think that's the point. You would also get the entire meal for free. I think it was $50 for the whole thing. You'd pay $50 and you'd get the whole thing free. Plus, you'd get donuts for the rest, or you'd get sandwiches for the rest of the year. So, man, that restaurant was fantastic. It was so good. It was so good.
Was it a brick and mortar restaurant? I thought they were.
They're a franchise, so you can open them up anywhere. I thought about opening one up in Seattle. I thought about it because it was so good. My favorite one was their they have a pesto sandwich, a homemade pesto sauce on the donut with ham and cheese.
Oh,
ham, cheese, pesto
oh,
on the donut. And it was, I thought it sounded disgusting, but it's so good. It was unbelievable. That's what I would get every single time I went in.
Pesto goes with ham nicely.
I know. But on a donut, it sounds like it would be gross. The pesto on a donut does not sound good.
But they're starting with a plain donut. They're not starting with a glazed donut.
Yeah, it starts with a plain donut, but
I mean, it's not like it's a strawberry-filled donut.
They do actually, but they have dessert sandwiches, which is they have like strawberry cheesecake grilled cheese sandwiches. So
all right, whoever keeps doing that, stop it.
Because Halo Collector. Cheesecake is best dessert. I agree. I love cheesecake. Although Bad Frog is going to tell you you're wrong, and ice cream.
You are wrong.
Ice cream is the best dessert. This was Mixcast discussion the other night. That what is the best dessert? And apparently it's ice cream because it goes with anything. But
exactly.
My argument is that does that make ketchup the best food because it goes with everything?
But it doesn't go with everything.
See,
you don't eat ketchup with pizza.
Do you eat ice cream with pizza?
I'm talking about desserts. Ice cream goes with all desserts, and yes, it goes with pizza. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's got so many flavors.
Ketchup with salmon. How to ruin your salmon? Step 1: ketchup. In New Zealand, we don't have grilled cheese. It's bread and cheese. How do you not have grilled cheese? You just put bread on a pan and grill it. That's
with
it.
Cheese until it melts.
Yeah, that's it. What do you mean you don't have grilled cheese in New Zealand? It's 2 ingredients.
Did they miss the whole bread and cheese thing in New I'm just
imagine making a burger, but you forgot the bun or you forgot the patty. That's all it is.
The patty. It's a grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese.
No. Somebody whack that.
Oh yeah. No using the R word. No using the R word. Big, will you be at South? I will be.
Exactly. BU's got it right. Looks like you need to open a grilled cheese cafe in New Zealand. You'd be making bank.
Apparently. No grilled cheese in New Zealand.
That's all right, Juicy. It's just one of those words. And I don't think you meant it with any kind of intent. So
tacos are rare in the UK. There's no tacos in the UK. Like, that's actually not a thing.
Isn't all UK food basically potatoes? In some kind of weird meat that came out of a can?
I thought it was like crumpets, because that's all I ever hear.
Tea and crumpets?
All I ever hear is tea and crumpets. That's all
Just
I ever
have some
hear.
tea and crumpets and cucumber sandwiches.
Cucumber sandwiches?
Cucumber sandwiches. Well, you could put a cucumber and a slice of cheese,
What?
and fry it, and you'd have a cucumber grilled sandwich.
You're gonna see me for a day at South? You're only going to South for a day?
Any great places to eat in Texas? Yes.
I'm gonna make some grilled cheese after this. Me too. I have one slice of cheese left in a loaf of bread that's about to go bad, so I'm gonna just use it.
If you're going to PAX South, BU, go down on the water and pick a restaurant.
Go
The-
down. Oh, on Riverwalk.
Yeah, Riverwalk.
Yeah,
And
that's
pick a
the
restaurant. It's so good.
It is
and there's
good.
all different kinds of food down.
I went for the first year of PAX South, their very first year, San Antonio. Yeah. I went for their very first year of PAX South. The convention was terrible, but everything outside of it was amazing. So,
To find the best barbecue BU, you got to find a place that looks like it's just about to fall down.
yeah, no, he's actually right. If there's a hole blasted in the side of the building, it's probably the best barbecue you've ever seen.
Yep. It takes a ramshackle, about to fall down building. That seems to be the only way to make good barbecue.
It really
Right,
is.
really.
There had to have been kitchen experiments that went wrong and half the building fell apart, and that's the best barbecue you've ever had.
Some of the best stuff I've had has been some hole in the wall convenience store that's not, it's just Doug's groceries or something. And he makes barbecue in there, and it's got 2 shelves of random products.
Literally,
oh,
the name of it was like probably chalk on the side of the building. Jim Bob found a grill, grilled some pork. That's the name of the restaurant.
oh man, that's so funny that you know that. But yep. Oh, Wonder Boy. Yes, the winners did contact.
For the $50 one, yeah. But
Oh,
for the PAX South tickets, I have one more. Actually, Darth Pike won the last one, but he hasn't responded yet. So I'm pretty sure he's asleep. So, but I have 4 of the 5. 4 of the 5 have responded. Now, Wonder Boy, if you contact Darth Pike and you say, if you're not going to PAX South, tell Big you're going to claim it anyway and just put my name. I'm just saying. I'm trying to figure out what Julie is saying. I love holy barbecue. What is holy barbecue?
Do they take like a hole punch and put it in the meat?
Probably.
And then serve it with
Darth had
Swiss
internet
cheese?
issues? Oh, okay, Roadkill. Thank you. Oh, he gets internet tomorrow? He was on Discord, though. I feel like he's on Discord on his phone. Let's see. Little Red Barn Smokehouse. I feel like I've heard that name before. I don't know if you're making that up, but I feel like I've heard that name before. If you come to Houston, Killins is where it's at. If you go out to Lockhart, Black's is the place to go. I feel like I've heard the name Killins before.
Don't go to Houston.
You have to pack a gun to barbecue joints here. Where is here? In Oklahoma? You have to pack a gun to go to barbecue joints in Oklahoma? What?
What, Jade Fox? Now I want to know what part of Oklahoma she's from, because she could be correct depending on some parts of Oklahoma. It's oh yeah, never mind. You're right. You gotta pack a gun.
Pirate says, hate on my city, Houston is the bomb diggity. The Bad Frog said it.
Don't go to Houston.
Let's see. Fight me. Well, now I'm starving. I guess I should lurk and hunt for food. I'm like so excited to press end stream so that way I can make some grilled cheese. Because this Mixcast is not 2 hours and 3 minutes long.
Yep, we have done it again. We ought to just make the thing officially an hour and a half and cut it off.
Just the stream auto ends at 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Just right in the middle of a sentence. It's done.
Wasn't that like how The Sopranos ended or something? Like it was like in the middle of a sentence just cuts to black or something?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about how The Sopranos ended. I'm still mad about that years later.
When will you start doing cooking streams? Actually, potentially in my next house. We're moving in March. I thought about having it capable of being mobile to a kitchen. So I might have a mobile streaming setup, like where the whole desk can just move, because that would be sick. Because the only thing that I would need to do is supply power and have enough, a long enough internet, to be able to do that. And I think I can make that work.
I am fixing to order a cart to put my laptop, my Xbox, and a few other things on, so I can roll it back at night and not have to go through the things I do now. So
Yeah, that would be cool. It would be cool. I'm sorry the hood brings all the riffraff. I lived in Caparis Cove when I was a young gent. Thankfully, never got stationed there when I was still in the RV. Wonderboy just said he lives in Cove now. I think
don't go to Houston.
I feel like you and Wonderboy might get along, Pirate. Your name fits the cooking streams, but I'm not like a professional cook in any sense, and I know that Chef is just going to come in here and judge me the whole time. So
You just tell him, don't judge me. Don't judge me. I mean, that's the only way you can do it, because he has to listen to that.
I don't know if he does. Okay. All right.
We got to be done here.
Before this gets out of control, if you didn't get the secret code already, it's right there. It's PlayStation. Type !Mixcast. Get yourself some extra points into winning a year of Xbox Live for free. Thanks for joining us, guys. BU, thank you for bringing your whole community here. Or, well, not your whole community, but thank you for bringing your community.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was in your stream.
No, Master DPM, it was never in control. 5 minutes after the show starts, it's not in our power anymore.
That's true. It wasn't in my power before we started the stream. I had 30 minutes of technical difficulties.
That's true. We had gone off the rail before the show.
Yeah, it was off the rail before the show even started. So yeah, it was bad. Thank you guys for joining us. If you guys, Wonderboy, did you not listen to anything I was saying before? There's one ticket remaining. Darth Pike has it. If he doesn't
want to go,
just send him a DM before he tells me no, and then just say tell Big yes, but tell him to put or just say my name instead of his name. So
and don't go to Houston.
You guys were fantastic tonight. Join us not tomorrow because I'll be snowboarding. Monday.
Monday.
Yeah.
Monday.
8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be here. We're going to have more episodes of Mixcast the whole week. And then the week after that is PAX South. I will be gone for an entire week. Bad Frog will cry.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
And if my mental health thing is done. And we're going to I think Wednesday was what we decided next week.
I don't remember. Didn't know that we chose a day, but I knew it was next week.
Okay, it's gonna be next week, and if anybody that have them show up if they're interested, it's kind
You're gonna have to say that again. You cut out. I think
it's kind of an interesting deal. If you want to know about it, anybody you know that wants to know about it.
Yeah, he's doing for Mixcast next week. He's doing an episode based off of mental health and I think of streamers, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so mental health of streamers. So come by, help him out in all of his conversation for that. I have no idea what it's about. He sent me a long document that I still need to read. This weekend I will have an opportunity to read it. Speaking of this weekend, Sunday is my 1 year anniversary as a Mixer partner. If you would like to come celebrate, please do. My stream will be 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I would be happy to see all of you beautiful faces in the chat. So, yeah, I'll probably throw that out on social medias this Sunday. Sub Sunday for my stream, 1 o'clock Pacific. My regular stream time for Sundays. So, yeah, I just want to throw that out there since today is the last stream before then, actually. But yeah, I'm going to throw it out on social medias too because I'd love to see anyone who has supported me over the last year. So, all right, you guys have a fantastic night. We'll see you guys Monday and hopefully this weekend. Have a great weekend, everyone. Have a great weekend. Goodbye, everyone. Bye. Bye.
See ya.